At this point, I've closed over 300 real estate deals. I've made millions of dollars, but also I've lost so much money, over 500 grand in a single year. And I'm not afraid to tell you that I've made mistakes. I've also wasted over 200 grand on marketing that didn't perform, and I've invested over 200 grand in coaching and masterminds, trying to figure out this game out. And after all, the wins, the losses, and the expensive lessons, I can tell you that most wholesalers are focused on the completely wrong things. So in this video, I'm going to share the most important lessons that I have learned after closing 300 deals, so you don't have to waste years or $100,000 like myself trying to figure this out on your own. And these are the things that I wish that someone told me when I was making 20 to 30K per month trying to scale. So if you are a wholesaler right now who's stuck at the 20 to 30K per month range and you want to finally get consistent 50 to 150K months, then watch this entire video, take notes, and actually apply what I'm about to share with you. Lesson number one is going to be tracking your numbers or your gambling. It took me 2 years to track my KPIs. And I found out that I wasted over 200 grand on marketing channels that gave me a 1 to 2x. And some of my other marketing channels were giving me a 5 to 6x. So I could have put that 200 grand in those channels and made an additional $500,000 to $600,000. But because I was stuck hustling, thinking my job is to make the revenue and not track this stuff, it cost me a lot of money. I see a lot of wholesalers who get stuck in this exact same situation because I know it sucks. Nobody wants to do it, but you can hire a VA to track all of your expenses, how many leads you're getting, how many appointments, because if you don't know on the back end how much you're spending, how many leads, how many appointments, how many offers you're giving, how many contracts, how many deals you're selling, you won't be able to dissect when something breaks and you don't have anything to fix in order to make more money. And I see this over and over again. The main difference between the people who scale past to 7 figures is because they are actually tracking their numbers. I know it sucks, but you just need to do it because it's gonna save you so much time, money, and effort, and you're going to be able to finally grow your business to where you want it to be. So don't be like me. Don't wait 2 years to track this. You can start right now. Take a Google sheet, like I said, get your expenses, check how many leads you're getting, how many appointments, how many offers, and you'll be able to dissect if something is leaking and exactly how to fix it. And after I fix this, that's when my profit skyrocketed. Brings me to lesson number 2. Profit is the only thing that matters. Don't chase revenue. When I first started, I would see all these people that were making 7 figures and I was like, oh, okay, I can make 7 figures and net 7 figures. But as you know, in real estate, you have a lot of expenses. So you need to be able to reverse engineer how much you net after all of your expenses, your marketing, your office, your softwares, all those things. But if you're not tracking your KPIs, from lesson number 1, you're not going to be able to reverse engineer your goals. So I would much rather have a $1 to $2 million business that nets me 500K to $1 million than having a 3 to 5 million business where I'm netting 20%, right? It's just like way less headaches. And as you already know, in real estate, there's so many things that we don't control, and we want to make it as simple as possible and not just chase vanity. Because remember, we started this business to get the freedom and make the money that we want to make. So if you don't track your numbers, you won't be able to reverse engineer. And the only thing that I think you should shoot for is how much is your net month after month. And you can do this with a small team that's lean. Third lesson is going to come down to marketing and being the one who understands the marketing and doing the marketing channel. Because if you think about it, in wholesaling, the most important things are leads. If you know how to get leads, you can just apply a good sales process and get more deals. But if you stay dependent, like using an agency or using a pay per lead provider, you're never going to get ownership over one of the most important levers of your business. So when I wasted all that money in the marketing channels, I was using, Facebook ads inbound through agencies. And I was like, okay, I can do this myself and I know that I can make these ads. So if you have used an agency before, I recommend that you actually learn how to do this because the results that you can get are massive. So for example, I was able to drop my cost per contract from $5,000 all the way down to around $1,500 by being the one in my ads and actually understanding how to use Facebook ads. And now it's all the channel that we do right now. The reasons why I see people who don't get it is because usually their ads are not good. They're not attracting their ideal sellers. But if you know how to make a good hook where you are calling out the specific avatar, talking about distress points like divorce, foreclosure, inheritance, vacancy, downsizing, you're going to be able to attract the people that you want to work with. And I recommend that you actually learn how to do this. I have a ton of videos here on the channel walking you through how to do that. But if you do this, if you were able to drop your cost per contract by 50% and just make more money, you don't need to have a huge bloated team, because now your leads are pre-qualified, they're hot and ready to sell. And if you implement the right sales process, you can just convert them way better. And by the way, if you want help implementing the exact same systems that I'm sharing in this video, including how to get $20 to $30 cost per lead on Facebook ads and scale to consistent $50K to $150K per month, click the first link in the description, book a call with me and see if you're a good fit. I'm not going to hard sell you if I don't think I can help you, or if I think you're lazy. I'm just going to tell you that we can work together. But if you are willing to put in the work and actually learn this, I want to help you and make more money. Lesson number 4 is going to come down to you can't delegate what you don't understand. So I see a lot of people that start hiring salespeople without the proper training, onboarding, setting the expectations, the proper management and training. So I see a lot of people that do this without understanding this. And you actually need to understand how the sales process works before you can delegate it, because most people think that they're just going to show up and get deals. But if you don't hire the right person from the get-go, it's just going to cost you time, money, and effort, where you could have just spent that money somewhere else and actually make it work. The other thing would be also like with the marketing. Like, I don't think you should delegate it because it's the most important component within your business. And you don't need to be an expert, but if you understand it, you're going to be able to dissect it and make smarter decisions, because now you have the full context of how things work. Lesson number 5 is going to come down to you need to stop being a hustler. You need to be a CEO. So it took me about 3 years to finally make this transition. And the reason why I was stuck was because I thought that the best use of my time was closing deals, but your best use of your time is becoming a business owner that attracts the right people and hires the right team to do the things as well as you. And as soon as you do this, your business is going to be able to run without you. And in order to do that, you need to have a huge mindset shift, because it's not just about you anymore. It's about the people that you employ and giving them the resources that they need in order to make the money that they want to make, but also align with your core values and your mission. So I recommend a good book that's called The Motive. Basically, it teaches you on how to train your team, how to give them the proper training, expectations, how to care about them. Because if you just stay stuck in the hustler mode, you're not going to be able to scale, all the things that you need in order to scale. The sooner that you make this shift and actually become someone that employs the right people and is an A player, the sooner that your business is going to grow. Lesson number 6, motivation in the sales call is everything. Now, like I said, a lot of people think that sales is a God-given talent, but it's actually something that can be learned, because if you understand the seller psychology and what is their buying process, you have natural fear. And if you're able to dissect that and tell the people that you're working with what to expect, how it's going to work, and we're able to ease all those fears before the call, and you ask the right questions, you're able to have a replicable sales process that you and your team can just keep on applying, rinse and repeat. And if something is off, you're able to pinpoint exactly what happened and how to fix it. For example, setting the proper expectations, letting them know how long the phone call is going to take, what you're going to cover, reminding them they have permission to say no, and just evening the playing field so that they have the right conversation with you, so that you can explore what is making them want to sell and what we need to solve in order to make that happen. And the way that we do this is by asking the right questions when it comes to the motivation. So something like, hey, what has you thinking about selling the property right now, Mr. Seller? So whatever it is that they give you the answer to, you need to ask 2 to 3 layers deep into what that means. How long have you been thinking about this? It seems like this has been affecting you here, right? When you say this, what exactly do you mean? You need to ask the follow-up questions in order to actually dig the motivation and find out exactly what needs to happen in order for them to sell. And the quicker that you do this, the easier and better conversations you're going to have. Lesson number 7, the market doesn't care about your feelings. We've been in a down market for the last 3 years, ever since COVID, and every year the market keeps on getting worse. That doesn't mean that people are not selling. In order for us to still make money, what we decided to do was, hey, why do we stay stuck in our market? So yeah, it's our backyard and we know it, but let's position ourselves in markets where stuff is still selling. And if you can have different exit strategies like innovations, you can do deals anywhere in the country, because now you know how to market, how to call your ideal seller. You are not just relying on cash offers. And I see a lot of people stay married to their backyard, and I think that's good if that works for you. But just know that if you expand and you are good at marketing, you can have good opportunities in different metros where stuff is still selling. So I just recommend that you are in those markets that's still selling, even if it's competitive. If you have the good ads to call out those ideal sellers, and you have the sales process to ask the right questions, and finally be the one that actually gets the deal, you're going to make more money if you actually focus on these things. So I have a lot of the clients that are doing nationwide, and they implement the sales process that we give them with the inbound seller engine that we give them as well. And they get good opportunities anywhere in the country. And they can sell these deals for max value. It doesn't matter that the market is down. So just consider this when it comes to choosing your markets and expanding your marketing. Lesson number 8, cash flow management. This is super important because, like I said, in wholesaling, it's all about sales and marketing. And we do have, expensive overheads, and you got to be able to forecast how much your expenses are, how much you're going to spend this month, because what you don't want is to run out of money, because marketing is a livelihood of your business. If you don't have leads, you can't contract new properties, you can make new revenue. So I see a lot of people are always hurting and they have cash flow problems. And this has happened to me a lot of times when you are managing flips, when you're managing marketing, when you are waiting on closings. And as we know, real estate takes a long time, right? If you get a property under contract, it's probably going to take 45 days if you do like an assignment. But by the time that you spend the money on marketing, the cash conversion cycle can be 3-4 months. So you got to be able to keep on spending the money each month while the stuff closes at the later months, right? So the way that we do this is we set the goal. Okay, where are we right now? How much cash do we have? How much, one, can we spend in marketing to achieve our goals? And 2, what is our overhead in order to get there? So whenever we get an assignment fee, I like to cut the assignment fees in different chunks. So we pay out the team, and then I like to keep around 20% per deal that goes back into marketing. The other 30% is going to go into expenses. I try to save around 25% for savings, and then the rest is going to be for tax and stuff. So just do whatever works for you. But if you're able to break it up, you can have multiple accounts and you know exactly how much money you have in each account. And if you know how much you're spending each month, it's just going to be way easier to keep on growing the business the right way without being in those cash flow issues that a lot of people get into. Those are the biggest lessons that I've learned after closing 300 deals. And look, this could save you a ton of mistakes and time, but in this video, I didn't cover everything. I didn't show you the exact Facebook ads campaigns that we are running right now that it's getting us $20 to $30 leads. I didn't break down the sales script that my team uses to close 1 in 4 offers. And I didn't reveal the complete step-by-step system to scaling to 100K per month monthly. That is all in my free course that I walk you through everything in the exact blueprints. I'm going to share that video right now. So click on the first link on the description. And if you want to work with me directly and implement this into your business, click on the first link in the description to apply. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.